grimy sons of bitches. Keep to yourselves down there, savvy. I can hear their shite pipes squelching. Too late for 'em now. You're a brave, perishing fella, Tom Drum. Thank you, sire. Sire, after all these tricks and trials and guns and gallows of it, I must just let you know, it ain't me name, Tom Drum. It ain't.
Not? What are you, some sort of lie in disguise?
What did they call ye? Well, sire, I'll tell ye true.
On behalf of His Majesty, King George II of Great Britain and Ireland, Duke of Brunswick-Luneburg, and Prince Elector of the Holy Roman Empire, you are commanded to lay down your arms and retire into the hold with the residuum of your cheerless sloop.
You ready, boys?
Ready, sire!
Ready to sit dead in the eye and show 'em you're a piracy disciple through and through?
Set me dead in the eye and tell me I'm not.
Scurvy slave thieves, your execrable reign of Atlantic roguery will be swept from the seas on this day.
In the matter of things already begun, I want you to know, before our heads stoop clean off our trunks, I ain't what I seem. I ain't no cabin boy, nor any halfpenny groom, nor any Cornish lad at all. I was christened Mary Read, and I've been a pirate as long as any lad on this sloop. And I'm happy to die like one, as those cowardly manships shiver down there in the stink of a piss-sloshed hold.
You stole me trick, boy. For me name's Anne Bonny! And I'm a birth child of County Cork, and I was drawn into a life of piracy by an informing scoundrel whose name I stole.
You're a she-lass!
If not, I can bear explain the babe I dropped in Cuba. This is a fine pig us up here in the coves down there.
Shall we show 'em how a real man's blood is spilled?
But first!
Oh, yeah!
Too early, Piglet, too early.
Every time, listen for your cue and keep your trigger finger up your nose till the time comes.
You cut our speech about unfreeing the slaves, sweetheart.
Because I'm always the British Navy. I want a pet.
Piglet, someone has to.
I want a pet. And I want a peg leg.
We don't get peg legs and we're the pirates.
And I want a song.
What sort of song?
A song of a pirate. A lady pirate. A song I can heave my bosom.
Let's do this chapter without her. Just this chapter, they won't notice.
I'm not going through all the chapters anyway. What's the tall lands? Feel like a fish in a bowl going round and round. I'm dizzy.
You know why we rehearse the chapters, Piglet?
Because we're prisoners of war.
You can't be a prisoner of war without a war, fool.
Piglet! Why has the trunk been moved?
Because Smudgy and Rooster were breaking the 11 promises, Miss King.
Rooster, why has the trunk been moved?
We emptied it for a ship's hold, Miss King. We thought you wanted us to use our imaginations.
Monkey, why has the trunk been moved? Because we were breaking one of the 11, Miss King. Good. Piglet, why did you break your promise?
I didn't, Miss King. It's like that when I was there.
Rooster, why did you break your promise?
Because I felt like it.
Monkey, why did you break your promise? Because we were being ungrateful, Miss King. Yes, you were. See, Rooster, Piglet, that's all I wanted. A little logic. Put it back. Put it all back. Gently, please. She's sleeping.
She's always sleeping.
And be careful with that trunk. It's the oldest thing here. I think that lock still locks.
But there's no key.
There's never any keys.
Oh, Miss King!
Oh, don't pester her, Piglet.
She'll lay razor blades in your breakfast again.
You never did that.
That's why you started bleeding when you were 12.
Rooster!
Joke flag!
Understand how to speak the world British language. Easy to do the right way to get reinvented. The boss of Miss King says I should make my voice deeper. Does she mean deeper like a bear beneath its fur? Or deeper how a whale talks? Big deeper or underwater deeper?
When have you ever seen either of those? Bears and whales. You're a crackpot.
When have you ever seen a crackpot?
Oh. I think she means deeper, like the thick end of a harp when it tingles.
Oh, I'll work on it. What's this again?
Boudica.
Chapter 5. Rion from Sappho just before Mary.
She chased the Romans out of Britain.
Yes. No, I didn't believe that one. That was on the chapters I definitely didn't believe.
You're a ringworm.
Thanks. Who's this for?
Hillary?
No, it isn't. That's the pointy one. It's Suchi's.
I don't think so. Let me see. Oh, this is one of Blue's old shoes. Rooster, remember? Smells like a too. Let's tuck it away. Find a nook for it.
Do you want to go look for moles in the dungeon?
No.
I'm going to go look for moles in the dungeon.
Good. Did you hear Blue coughing last night?
Of course I did. We all did.
Did you ever wonder what might happen if one day Blue coughed so much she couldn't breathe?
Of course not. That's horrible.
Because I was wondering what might happen if she coughed that much.
Nothing ever changes. So nothing will ever change with Blue's coughing. It will either stop or it won't.
See, I think the same thing about growing.
Why?
Well, we began tiny. You told me I did.
Yes, you grew.
And then I stopped. You stopped. Piglet too.
And
And what happens the other end? Do we start shrinking again? I swear, Blue's shrinking. I measure her in secret when she's in bed. I swear, it used to be 9 hands long. Now, she's 8 and a few fingernails.
maybe your hands are getting bigger.
Oh. So you don't think we'll end up shrinking?
No.
Pity. I was going to sneak up a keyhole. This one's the biggest.
Don't look at them like that. Blue shrinking or you growing, it's all just coincidence. Miss King says it was a coincidence when the moon fit the sun perfectly during the eclipses. It can happen. Now let's go pick out our fishes for supper.
Arr! Larby swingebucklers! Oh!
tripping the mousetrap, sweetheart?
No, Blue.
Oh, I don't blame you, Poppet. Not really. What is that pitchfork for?
Moles. I want some pets. Like the witches, they have cats.
Which chapter?
22? Chapter 22. It's the house of the world with the men spoiled medicine and all the witches in the lake. We must know the secrets of medicine.
Do you think I'm a witch, Piglet?
No, no. Your whiskers are a bit witchy, though.
Well, I used to be a witch. Watch me do a magic trick. Up! Up! See?
Have you seen any moles, Blue?
Moles? I used to have a mole.
It's a very nice mole.
Did I do you wrong?
I didn't see you do anything.
You don't look like a woman.
I'm very young.
How old now?
25.
You still don't look like a woman.
Should I look more like Miss King?
Oh no, she's sexless.
Sexless. Actually, what's sex?
Off the map, Piglet, off the map! Do you know what I would do with you if the world was still the way it was?
Help me find moles.
I would put you on a steeple, and all the world would look at you and I pin roses to your cheeks, and I tie little bumblebees to your hair, and they flutter about, and you look like a mermaid at the bottom of the sea. And I'd sling shadows round your cheeks and your eyes, and they would burn like 100 April days. And I'd let all the world see what a woman you are.
Blue. What's April?
I did you wrong. I did you all wrong.
Well, it's nearly supper time, which is really very good because today I'm in the mood for fish. Why'd you never eat? Why'd you never eat the swingebucklers? Rooster says we not.
Rooster says so. There's a secret down here. I came looking for
A secret?
A
I like
secret.
secrets.
a secret. I'll not tell you what it is, though. Not until I'm sure.
You banged your nose.
There you are.
Piglet, what were you doing down here in the cellar?
It's called the dungeon, and I was hunting moles.
Piglet, what were you doing down here in the cellar?
Hunting moles.
Piglet, what were you doing down here in the cellar?
Hunting moles.
You were digging in the cellar, Piglet. And the reason you were digging in the cellar is that you were breaking one of the 11 promises. There's no such thing as moles. Not anymore.
There is. I saw one last year.
Why aren't there any more moles, Piglet?
Because
Because...
there aren't any more anythings.
That's right. Now help me dish up.
Miss King, how do I speak the Royal British Navy? I can't do man. I don't really understand what man means, to be honest.
Pull your shoulders back, like wings. Let your belly fall out. Don't pretend it's not there.
Tilt your chin up like the prow of a ship.
It's the same thought. Shh.
Imagine that you don't have any thoughts except for the thought you're having at that moment. Nothing else matters. Imagine that nothing could ever hurt you. Imagine that you have a moustache that tickles you. Now, say the line.
On behalf of His Royal Ascendancy, King George,
That's it.
Duke of Brunswick-Lüneburg, and Prince-Elector of the Holy Roman Empire,
So, which one are you? You took your time turning up. 11 of you, and you decided to show up last. You're the difficult one. You're like me. You can talk. I've heard your brothers. You grown one.
Brewster, why are you playing with that?
Hello, Miss King. You're a stringless harp, aren't you? Didn't even hear you squeak. What's for supper? Oh, of course.
Brewster.
I'm never going to get this game right, am I? You know it. I know it.
Why are you playing with that?
Because I broke one of the 11 promises.
Which?
I don't know. One of them. Who cares? Number 5.
Number 3. There's a name they would have given you.
Skulker. Just a jumble of letters to me, Miss King.
What is it?
I think it's a new breed of fork.
To me, please.
I dropped it in the swing. It has survived. Look at shaft to supper. I'll just have my own again.
Monkey plays the harp like her fingers are doing a ballet. You should practice as often as she does. You'd be less clumsy. Are you ready for the tomfool?
Decluttering my tongue as we speak.
Fetch the sticky forks.
Don't let Piglet bags be the biggest one.
I won't if you're quick. I'd like you not to be so gentle tonight in the tomfool, Monkey. You've been lacking your usual degree of cruelty.
Oh, have I been forgetting the point? I do prefer them blunt. Your points.
Monkey,
Clara?
you've not been happy recently, have you?
Oh, I'm happy, Miss King, every time I look at you. Every time I look at you, I'm very, very happy.
Oh, it's you. You're the best one, aren't you? You believe it all.
Believe what, Blue?
You believe truths.
King up and me in the tomfool blanket, please.
It wouldn't be the tomfool if there wasn't some gang.
I like to hear you bramble in the tomfool. I like to see you snip at one another.
But what's it for, Blue? Oh, I never understand.
It's for keeping the food in, sweetheart. But it's for keeping the water in, and the water keeps the food. The one keeps the other.
Piglet meant the tomfool. Why we bramble.
My seat. Every time.
Well, bramble on.
Will someone please point and bramble? There'll be no eating until the tomfool, as usual.
Piglet! Your eyes are as beady as two little tadpoles, drunk on the scum that dries and ferments on the rim of a scurrilous pond.
Piglet, retaliate.
Well, if my eyes are tadpoles, if that's what they are, they're lesser pond pests than you are. For you have fat toads that have migrated, hibernated down in your throat. They rattle your tonsils and quack as you talk.
Toads don't quack, that's the poor ramble. Rooster, your turn.
Your hair is so shiny and briny that I think you must wash it in tears. Have you been crying recently? If I cry,
Sweet rooster, it's because of your smell. Your bunions are like onions to me. Run along.
Rooster, your teeth, they're like an old prison cage. Honest enough to look at and smirk, but they're rotten right through. They can't keep in your breath. Little piss eyes.
No curses.
Blue taught me that one.
no curses.
Run along.
Fine. If Piglet's eyes are tadpoles and Monkey keeps toads down her gullet, then you, Miss King, must be Mother Amphibian, for you dwell between two worlds as different as water and land. One of... Yes, I'm right. And two of... Yes, I am right.
Keep it between yourselves tonight, Rooster. I'm tired. I've been cranking.
I've been crying.
Rooster's got a face as dull and queer-eyed as a starling trapped in the lawn.
Starlings and stars have a home both in the warren of the night sky, Piggy. They fly. Better a bird under earth than a slog in the air.
Surely you're no bird, Rooster, but a pernicious jellyfish to skeet on stingsome waves propulsed by bad moons.
To skeet on waves makes use of the moon, a very pock-faced benefactor, and slave master of moonbeams. I prefer to paddle on a self-contingency. I'd rather escape if I could, but there's no escape.
We do escape, though. At night, through sleeps of dreams.
Simple minds take flight in little boxes caged, but calculating souls can see the prison as it stands.
Calculations are the concubines of mathematicians, and be you with one so dull, good luck and baby sums come from you.
Equations don't kiss. There's dry lips as blackboards and chalk.
Piglet, never help a skeleton brain that's full of sticks. There's no slide in it.
Rooster's like a
Helter-skelter, for such a glum spirit, your fairground talk is fine. Sun comes not before clouds depart.
Yet, sun is always there and clouds are often not. And which is the preciouser for rarity?
Good. Leave it there. We can begin eating now.
And whilst we're waxing elemental, Piglet clings to Monkey like thunder to lightning, far too loud and much less bright.
Rooster's a fine connoisseur of the world, huh? For she loves all things in it.
Wait, what?
So long as it shines, gleams, shimmers, or twinkles, or of it can be said, oh, how much you think it is worth. And only a very dull magpie concerns herself with worth when there isn't a single currency left in the world.
You love at least what I love can fit in my palm, Monkey. What you love? without giving you frostbite.
That's the end of the tomfool!
Rooster's what? Hateful little idiot!
Monkey!
Monkeys!
I win!
Rooster!
Miss King!
Piglet!
Blue's chin is a maze of whispers and whiskers and flowers that smell of old feet. And she must be as dry as a desert down there in her crack, because each time she bathes, she leaves the tub completely dry and the floor completely wet. Now, that's grumbling.
Shouldn't be a joke to you. There's no comedy in parenting. You look me in my good eye and you laugh. Ahead.
Miss King's a ladder! Miss King's a ladder! Always trying to get one step ahead of herself to the top.
If I'm a ladder, Rooster, you'd best not cross my path.
It's bad luck.
What are you having?
Bacon sandwich. You always have bacon sandwiches.
I like bacon sandwiches. They taste so runny.
What are you having, Rooster?
Praised haunch of unicorn.
I look forward to hearing that flurry of flavours described.
Joke flag. Don't be ridiculous. They never ordered that back in the before. I'm having roast hump of camel.
Monkey, what are you having?
I'm having whatever you're having. What are you having?
I'm poached scallops with ginger butter and a little sour chantilly cream. There's a big bowl of parcelled green pasta sprung with salmon and Spanish pear and a wedge of crumbled rice. Bread's made with thyme, gives into your teeth like pillows. There's a long, cool glass of milk with a vanilla bean sunk in it. And afterward, there's black wine from the Tuscan slopes. Forgot the water jug. Spent all day filtering the lead from the tank and still it tastes like licking a gargoyle.
Why is she so good at swingeback licking?
What Clara's father chose to do back in the before was to taste food. They called him the critic. And he did. He was very good at it. She's inherited his talent for description. Eat. Eat. I like to watch you eat.
Bacon sandwiches.
Camel hump. Ugh.
Or I'm waking Miss King.
Please let me keep it. It's the only key I've ever found, and there's still another 10 locks in the door anyway, and this one probably doesn't even work. And
This is a key? We should give it to Miss King.
you're always on her side, even when she snatched that snuff I found.
Oh, it was dangerous. It said so on the packet. Besides, I'm not always on her side. There aren't any sides here.
No, just walls.
The 11 promises are here for a reason, to keep us safe. They're like anchors. Even pirates need anchors.
We're not pirates. Piglet was right, we're prisoners. I just want to look after it. It's not dangerous. Nothing that shiny could ever be dangerous.
I don't know what I would do without you. You don't know what it means to have a sister.
I do know. I've got Piglet. It's flummoxing.
You're my rhyme rooster. My opposite and my same. And would make sense if you weren't here. All right, keep it then. But don't let anyone see it. I'm running the gauntlet before bed. Are you coming?
Yes.
All right, grumpy guts.
Monkey? I have a new riddle.
You do good. Let me hear it.
We are a score of many creatures, each of us with tadpole features. Our tails hang from a 4-brick wall, and we sing without sounding at all.
Not an inkling. You fuddle me every time. See you up there. Oh, Rooster. I've been meaning to tell you. I used to run rings round you during tomfool. Do you know that? But now, I'm proud of you. You're a wordsmith, that's what.
You're a wordsmith. Now, where are your brothers? Family. Did Blue give you those? She said she found a secret in the cellar.
Blue number 4 today. The weepy one. Better than blue number 7. Do you remember blue number 7 said about my pug?
Piglet! Just for once, I'd like to know what it feels like to be lonely.
You going somewhere? I wanted to work a more originating voice on you.
Go to bed!
Don't want to. Blue's making the walls tremble. Thinks she chased me in her dreams. I'm waking up very tired.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up. You want to hide from Blue?
Yes.
Get away from her snoring and coughing.
Yes.
Oh, Piglet! Today's your lucky day. Oh. Get in then.
What?
You can sleep here. Get in.
I don't want to.
Get in. Who's coming? I can hear her stomp.
changed my mind, Rooster. I take it back.
Piglet?
Yeah.
Did you say something, Piglet?
Take it back, please, Rooster, please.
It's stuck. Piglet? Oh, it's stuck.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe very violent here, Rooster.
It's okay. It's stuck. It's all right.
Rooster.
Piglet.
I don't like it. My heart's rattling my ribs. It's jumping up and down. I think it wants to escape.
Piglet. You wait here. I'll be back.
He's here, Rooster. There's big rats in here. Blue rats.
Don't worry, Piglet. Don't worry. Something's happening to her. I didn't say anything. You were about to, Cal.
Leave her alone, Piglet.
You can't tell me what to do anymore.
You're in on it.
On what?
Lie factory.
Don't be a fool. Oh! She doesn't feel right. She's hot to touch. I've got a horrible feeling about her.
You get horrible feelings whenever you think about being outside. She's got perfect eyes. I'd like to pluck those out and put them in my pocket. She's screaming. She helped me. I trust her. Don't be stupid, you don't know her.
I do. I trust her. I trust her in my sleep.
Big day, everything's happening. First taste of the Olympics, like nothing you've ever seen. Paris got picked to win, didn't it? Well, I think some of the cities didn't even want to win. Vlad says there's a city in the US that's still paying off its debts from '76. But it's prestige, isn't it? Even if it cripples you. It's a bit like war. Prestige and crippling. And a little badge to say, we did it! The US boycotted the games in 1980 because the Soviets were invading Afghanistan. Now that's funny because the same thing's happening today and we don't give a toss. It's the strangest feeling in the city. They've nicknamed it the Javelin, that train that takes you from St Pancras to the stadiums through Stratford. It's called the Javelin. I meant to be seeing Discus or something stupid with Vlad, but I'm hating him today. Today I hate him, so I make sure I'm late. I don't take the bloody Javelin. I take the riverboat from Tower Bridge, and it spurts down the river and all the kids on board are smiling like walking, talking pairs of teeth. Nobody seems to be asking them for their ID at the bar on the boat. That annoys me. And well, it seems like it's made up of just two types of people. The ones protesting because of the whole Turan thing, and the ones just out to have a good time and enjoy the Olympics. But both sides are so happy, protesting or celebrating. They're at war with each other when you think about it, but everyone's so sickeningly happy. I get off at Greenwich, and the roads are choked with smug placards and papier-mâché missiles because of the demonstrators, and policemen are arguing with New Age hippie vegans and people from Henley, and I think, I'll walk up through the Isle of Dogs to Canary Wharf, I think.
Lad can see his stupid discus all by himself while I go shopping at the plaza. And the people are storming the ice cream van like it's a castle in the Crusades. And they're smiling. They're smiling, smiling, even as the dairy fat clogs their arteries. I walk along the Greenwich foot tunnel. It's cool down there. And there's this busker singing something that sounds like dirty church music. I tried to drop him a pound coin, but he just shakes his head as if to say, "Don't give me money, man, I'm too happy." Everyone's so happy. And I'm thinking, you're happy? We're about to get nuked because some art student from Camberwell recreated selected scenes from the Kama Sutra with Jesus and Muhammad, and you're happy? But the thing is, I'm smiling too. That's crazy. I walk up through Island Gardens, and when I get to Mudchute Station, there's something else happening. It's a big battle. It's epic. It's Olympic. Between the kids from the estate by the urban farm and the city boys in their Banana Republic chinos. There's an orange Lamborghini with a Coke can through its windscreen, but it's not really about that. They're arguing over the Olympics. Can you imagine? Well, I can imagine. One side just wants to have a good time and enjoy some shot put, and the other side thinks, well, that's tasteless when we're about to hit World War III. All this over the Olympics. But then I get caught in the mob. I'm trying to push through, but it just keeps getting bigger as I'm edging round, and suddenly I'm bang in the middle. And this kid with a motorcycle jacket and no motorcycle, he sees me. And in the middle of this fight, no, his fight, because there's speckles of blood on his throat, he sees me, he smiles, he pushes through to me, and winks. He winks. And I think, oh my God, I've just pulled in the middle of a scrap. And then he punches me flat in the face. I feel my teeth topple like dominoes and one pops into the pocket of my cheek. I can't believe it. There's blood on his knuckles and he's smiling. Everyone is smiling and I think, well, I would rather have the Olympics than that. And suddenly, the pavement is swirling by, and I'm running, and I think I've lost my knapsack, but I'm running until I get to... No, it's not a pub. It's some sort of church. Nettles all the way around it. Abandoned. Knock, knock. Nobody's home. God's popped out for the paper, see what the world's up to. And I'm scratching at the door, and I'm scratching, but nobody's coming.
Why is her hair such a funny colour? It's because she's been in the outside. It's the outside that's done that to her hair.
The sun did that? I wanted...
Rooster! She speaks words I've never heard. You speak to her, Miss King. You speak languages.
Where did you come from?
We're waiting for Blue, Piglet. That means we wait for Blue.
You've already used up your 11 rules, Clever.
We should not have let her in.
Have we met? No. Couldn't have. Hello, I'm Mignon. You must be Blue.
That's disgusting. Can you imagine? Hot fishes? Oh, Rooster would retch.
You don't cook them.
No. We can pretend, obviously, but I don't like the idea of hot food. My bacon sandwiches are always cold.
It's a very strange custom, Piglet. Well, don't you find the fish is horrible? It's only a very strange sort of people that eat raw fish.
You're very strange, and you're not even a whole people. Miss King says a plain taste with more room for your imagination, Miss King says. It's a nice change for the tin dust we used to eat.
Tin dust? Where are they?
Back in the moat. That's what we call the long room that floods. Dust and tins in crates, with big red tipsy X's on them, like on plasters when you scrape your knee.
What about the fish?
What about the fish?
Well, where did they come from?
Miss King brings them out every night from the garrison, which is off limits.
And then?
And then we eat them.
And then?
Then they go back at night right into the bowl in the garrison.
Maybe, do you know what it is when something dies?
Of course. No. I lied. I tried to lie. What's dice?
Carry on the tour, I'm enjoying it.
Good. Let's take you here.
There aren't many windows, are there?
I don't really understand the point of a window, to be honest. It just glows and then it glows.
But I don't really understand the point of your windows either. What else?
Well, I showed you the dungeon, and I showed you the Mitchell's gallery. I wish I could play the harp like Monkey does. But she says it takes time or talent, and we only have so much time.
What about books?
No. You have some funny ideas, Mignon. But I like your gusto. Hey, that's a friendly word. Gusto.
But you have stories.
Of course we have stories.
And where do you keep them?
Silly, here. This is the most important organ of the human body, the mouth. The mouth is amazing. All sorts of things come out of the mouth. Stories and herstories, riddles, spit, brambling, blood, kisses, sometimes teeth, sometimes love, if you like that, and belching. Excuse me, belches.
I agree with you there. It's very important, the mouth. But what else? Do you have any games?
Oh, we've the tomful.
Yes, I heard that. But how do you keep in shape? You know, exercise.
Oh, we've a gauntlet up in the bower.
A gauntlet?
You know, a gauntlet. Swinging sacks and tripwires and tunnels with traps and dead ends and things. You think you'll get used to it, but Rooster keeps changing it. She's Trixie. I don't know what to make of you, Miss Mignon. You're not even like any animal.
You've only known 4 people your entire life.
That's quite a lot, I think. More than enough to know properly.
Well, where do I wash my clothes?
Under the guardrail, Scout, stupid. Sorry, I'm getting used to you. That's what that means.
You sleep here? No. He didn't Rooster. But Rooster sleeps up on the poop deck mostly. She likes to be as close to the beyond as possible.
What's this?
That's a map of outside, the beyond.
Tell me about it.
Glad to. That's the land of spinsters in the north. See? Prude's palace. They set man traps there. Bachelor's opposite. The Scilly Isles off the coast. Those are shoals of sonnets. Below that you have the province of courtship, the principality of palpitations, and the kingdom of happiness in the south. And these are strong matrimonial breezes next to Squabble Bay. From there's a railway that leads to the middle of the island and connects with the highway to happiness. Once you get through the municipality of Mules, they lead right through to the middle to honeymoon. The castle, where we are. We used to talk about the map a lot. Don't think we'll get to see it all now, but it was nice to know what was out there. Oh, I must be boring you. You've seen it all before. The outside, the beyond.
Nothing like a midnight snack. Wasn't so different back in the before. Sardines on toast. Why didn't you eat your swinge, buckler?
It didn't tickle my fancy. That particular swashbuckler.
Plenty more fish in the sea and the bowl.
They told me that they're putting on something called the suicide saloons tomorrow.
That's the one. Chapter 112. We call them the her stories. Her stories. Did you enjoy the tomfool?
Silly game where they were all rude to each other.
Brambling. Not rude. They bramble.
Strange sort of talk they fell into. What's it for?
Well, it was Clara's idea, Miss King.
Oh.
She remembered her father teaching her about veal. How they used to keep the veal in the dark to make its flesh tender. Well, she didn't want the girls' eyes to become tender or their minds. Tomfool keeps them sharp. It makes them hardy. It keeps it in their minds all the things that used to make up the world back in the before. The weather, animals, everyday inventions, the way the world used to be.
The way the world is.
Chapter 112, The Suicide Saloons.
Welcome, sir, to Octavio Ranieri's Suicide Saloon. Can I get you a whiskey, a pipe, some female company, or would you prefer to go straight out the back and
I am
just...
sick of frivolity, missy. It's time for me to bid this world adieu.
Adieu? Well, hell, we shall call you the Frenchman. Kitty, command service, the Frenchman.
Good evening, sire. My name's Kitty Turnbull. We have many a tonic here to help ease your thoughts from the ridiculousness of life. Here for a little arsenic-tainted moonshine, some cheese liquor that's gone sour, a bucket of slops from pot-carrot dregs, or a good old-fashioned garter pistol, huh?
I should take the cheese liquor, ma'am. From my previous life, I was a great supporter of the breed.
That is it. Come and sit. One sip of this and you will be transported.
I'm in great desire of being transported.
Why so, little man? I'm not supposed to ask, but there's something in your eye that tugs my teats.
I was a very devil of a man. I cheated my wives as every old love with a shuffle of the cards. I strung my words out with Harrison tripod to confound the innocent. I told my flock there'd be a grand reward for backbreaking poverty. I made my little girls shiver in their linen. Boiled my big boys in bathwater. I was a very expletive of a man.
Shan't you then set your life to mending these sins, instead of cashing your chips to the pale king?
If one such as I has sinned so mightily, lady, what makes you reckon I care an ounce for forgiveness? This world has its own justice, and man has none. Deal me a card, lady, and make it my last. Just wait until you see what Kitty does next.
Shh, we'll have to do it over.
Do what over?
The history of the world!
It isn't her fault. She hasn't heard the other chapters.
It's like a magic trick. You have to say it taller, so it won't make sense.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you can teach them about suicide saloons when they don't even know what suicide is, what death is.
Don't listen to her, not to that.
We speak different languages, Blue. She's from the outside. It isn't her fault.
They were transported, like the swingebucklers.
Please, bear with us.
Until?
Until the end. Until the last chapter. The final herstory. Then we'll understand. That's the promise Blue's promised to us.
Sorry. But can I just do the last chapter then?
There's lots of chapters. We're only at 112.
I've always been a teensy bit impatient. I'm sorry, could we skip?
You're not allowed to skip.
You're not being a very good guest. Perhaps you should go and come back for another chapter.
Perhaps she should go and not come back for another chapter.
I want her eyes before she goes.
Please, Blue, I'm not trying to be difficult, but what I'd really like to know is how you ended up here. I don't care about suicide saloons.
And why will we break with tradition for an uninvited guest?
Well, all right. No, you're right. Let's talk about suicide saloons. I can help. I've never had to explain death to anyone before, let alone a whole room full of people. But I suppose it could be interesting. Fun, even. Or you could just tell me the last chapter right now and leave the suicide saloons alone altogether. It's your choice.
I mistook you. You look too bonny for blackmail. Clara. It doesn't matter anyway. Piglet was right. It's like a magic trick. In order to understand, you have to see it all. But you want what you want when you want it. Each man's life is a war with his mother. They tried to grind the earth to a halt, these men. Tried to bring it to a standstill in all sorts of ways. But they couldn't. Even those wars they thought were with one another, they weren't. No, they were wars with their mother. A war they could never win, but oh, did they try. And then the winds came. It doesn't matter why the winds came. Their mother, Mistral, they called it. Oh, everyone had a theory that the winds came because America and China were cloud seeding each other's atmosphere with so much silver iodine, they kick-started a miniature ice age. The winds came because Russia vetoed a motion to intercept a horseshoe asteroid that was headed for the moon, that would crack it like a conker and tilt the Earth's axis. The winds came because a plasma loop from the sun sent a solar superstorm into the Earth, and as lovely as those Norwegian scientists were, well,
They just didn't double check their math. It doesn't matter why the winds came, but they did. Man declared war on the earth, and the earth's mother, the universe, she gave mankind a nice, long time out. People used to say, save the planet. But what they really meant was, keep the planet in a state to which I am accustomed, where the universe doesn't care for selfishness, and mankind had been a very bad boy. This is the history of the world. The winds came and puffed their cheeks till snowdrifts the size of hillocks went tumbling across waterways, and rats were freezing as they tried to scrabble into the exhaust pipe of abandoned cars.
But we were safe.
Yes. Yes. We were safe. And when the others fled to the equator to stay warm, we stayed here on the Isle. We lived in the eye of the storm, and in the darkest days the wind swept through the city and delved the river out of its rut, and it froze around the Isle like a permafrost barricade. And that kept us safe here in the castle.
A church.
Our home.
It was a church.
What's a church?
Quiet. What is a church?
Sounds funny, like a lock opening. Church.
How would you know what key turning sounds like?
I let her in.
I think our guest should remove herself to the guest wing,
I'm only saying it's a church.
which is where the guests stay.
Those stained glass windows.
We've
and,
never
and
had
that
a guest
stinking
before, and we would
undercroft.
like to make a good
and the
impression.
choristers gallery. Sorry, the bower.
I can't talk to someone like this, Clara. She has no imagination. I'm sorry, Mignon. Take her to the oubliette. Clara will take you there. I'll bring you food. You'll be held in the oubliette until you learn how to behave as a guest should. Oh, don't worry. You won't be lonely down there. It's where we keep the things we've forgotten.
I'll show you there. It will only be for a small while. Come.
We just wanted you to respect our histories.
If she's telling the truth, if the world's not there anymore, then where do you think I've come from?
We were lucky. You could have been too.
What luck? Nothing's happened. Look at me. Do you want me to tell you what's out there? It's not some big enchanted ice palace with the wind rushing over it like a snow globe. Through that door, there are 6 linden trees side by side. Big, beautiful, honey brown trees with the sun dripping off them. It's very hot at the moment. Thunderstorms in the afternoon make you clap your ears and squeal. And then there's a world beyond that. Past that there are parks prickling with picnics and charity concerts for impoverished children and reasonably priced restaurants that give desserts free if it's your birthday. and rust-coloured fun fairs that make everything seem better. And people. God, there are so many people out there singing their songs and living their lives and loving their lives.
It's a lie, Bobbits. There aren't any more people.
There aren't any more anything.
So what sort of nothing lies?
What is she?
She's alive.
Where'd she come from then? And she says it sounds so thunderclaps. She says there's thunderclaps out there. I want to hear.
Mr. Wait! I'll tell you everything!
Light! Oh, there's so much light.
Rooster! come back! Rooster. Rooster. Oh, Rooster. Don't! Rooster. Rooster. Listen to me. What it is. What I've done. What I did. I did it for. Oh. Does it matter now? I don't even know which one you are. Rosie? Rosie!
$5 discount, eh?
The folic acid, Rosie.
Whatever you say. No baby's pills, please.
Here. Then, wait.
No thanks, Blue. Thanks, Blue. Daylight, fingers crossed, eh?
You're welcome, Rosie. Any thoughts on the meeting we have with Mrs. Clutterbuck?
Nah. Appreciate the travel expenses, though. Didn't appreciate the Hep B shop. Yeah, I'm still purple. Huh. You ever think about giving it a shot, Blue?
Well, no, I never really have sex, so there wouldn't be much point in contraception.
Not the bloody pill. I mean, going on the game.
No! Well, not really. It's sort of against everything I believe in.
You're here often enough.
Because I volunteer to be.
Just saying. Could make some money whilst you're here. Volunteering for free. Mugs game. But you like it here, don't you? You like us.
There. Paulina doesn't seem to enjoy it.
She only gets to do it every Wednesday when a fella's in Belgium, that's why. Ha! That's a pretty laugh. I've got a very pretty laugh.
Do you enjoy it?
Of course I do. 500 quid to watch a fella shit on a newspaper and spunk on it. Can't grumble. Me and Anna had it worse.
Do you have children?
Nah. Probably have to hang up my knickers if that bombshell dropped. You can't do it to kids all hours of the night. Oh. Here she comes. The world's oldest, fucking filthiest whore. Frankly, darling, I can't believe your pipes are still sweating. Must be like putting your prick in a cheese grater.
You never told me how you ended up here, Monica?
Boat ferry.
No. No. I mean why you do this.
Why? I had husband. Once. He said of me, I have no emotion. Nothing. I have never loved. Never, not once. I have never loved. But I have never hated. The only thing I care for is decentness and common sense. And language. Oh, I speak many, many languages. Rosie speaks in smut. That is her language for everything.
But how do I get it to stop? It's my whole reason for being here.
Why would you want to stop here?
Well, I wouldn't be myself if I wasn't helping.
She is young. She stop if she get with child.
Do you think so?
She stop. They all stop. Maybe even I, if I wasn't all. Ugh. The recipe for angels is power and grace. I have to get changed. What point, I ask you? What point?
Pit. Hello, Poppet? Where's your dad?
What? Mignon wants to try a new recipe. She's found something down in the oubliette. Mushrooms.
What about the swingebucklers?
We've put the last of them back in the garrison. I decided it was time for a change.
Oh. Yes. I suppose it must be by now. In the history of the world, Bluebeard was an old-fashioned word for womb. Not a place where you forget things, that's a mistranslation, but a place where things are held in transition. Life to death, death to life. And if someone's not ready for the facts, then the womb is the best place for them, am I right? I think that's right. And did you know? The womb is the only place of guaranteed sanctuary, but if anything were to happen to you, you wouldn't understand it anyway, not yet. Because you haven't learned the difference between light and dark. Clara said you were talking about boyfriends. I know you've never had a lover. I don't know why you lie about that. There's much more interesting things to fib about. I've said it. It must be true. You have no imagination, Poppet. I may do without a lover. You could have too. The girls will. That map in their bedroom. It's there to remind them of the sort of inane nonsense that love used to get people into. You know, you can waste your entire life trying to get someone to pay you attention. Do you know that? That's it. If we were all in the womb, we'd be much happier, except... Do you know what the real money was for those brothel girls? Those poor girls. Pregnancy. For some reason, that is what men wanted. Why? God knows I don't. women, or maybe it's because men, all of them are filthy-faced perverts, or maybe it's because, well, from a man's point of view, if she's already knocked up, she can't get knocked up again now, can she? No responsibility. I was there to help them, Mignon. I thought they'd quit. When I helped, they didn't realize I was helping them now, did they? But when I switched their pills, the ones that didn't use anything with the punters, when I helped them to their babies, I thought they'd call it a day. But why would you quit when the men paying for you prefer to that way? Natural, pregnant. Funny, isn't it? Woolbirds were also what they call the ice sheets that form over lakes. Frost comes on the top, and air comes in with the movement of the tides, and tunnels form under the ice. I've come to say I've decided you're to stay here. That's all. It's not that you're bad, Poppet. You're just wrong.
All things with it. My father's piano had 72 keys. If it had thousands, you wouldn't be able to play a thing. Too many choices. Logic, though. You can control history with logic. Well, you can control people, and then the people give you the history you want. You can't do anything with love. It's utterly useless.
Monkey doesn't think so.
Monkey should get married, and then Monkey should shut up.
Listen to you. I think I'm having a positive effect. Monkey wouldn't like that, though. Marriage, relationships. It's a bit like witchcraft. The longer you're together, every day you get a little bit closer, and a little bit further away. It's demented physics, but it's true. Oh, you'll have it. We'll go for a walk and we'll have it. We'll buy ice creams and we'll giggle and we'll play with our hair. And they'll swarm. You'll see them. Men. It's sort of a long way around my question, Piglet.
Sort of a silly question, really, Mignon. If what you're saying is true, it might be true, or it might just be a trick.
A trick?
In the before, with magicians, they show you the canary and the coin and the card or whatever, and then they make it disappear. I think that's what happens, what you call. Or what do you call it? Oh, death.
Death.
Except for the magic trick, it wasn't really disappear. Just up the sleeve or under the magician's hat. So death might be like that. Up the sleeve. You're very sweet, but you're not very bright.
Piglet, have you never seen a fish die in the bowl?
I've seen them sleeping. They sleep upside down. Also, even the ones that are sleeping. I suppose it'd be rude to wake them.
I don't understand how you can't believe in things, Enton.
Excuse me, I don't understand how you
Oh,
can't.
there's proof!
There's no such thing as proof. Proof would be sort of how the world as it really is.
What do you mean?
Well, I have these eyes, don't I? And this nose, that's for smelling, and these ears, well, you know what they do. But they're all just sort of, interpreters when it comes down to it, aren't they? And what I'd like to know, what I'd really like to know, is what the world would look like without all these middlemen. But that's not the world. That's not proof.
Piglet, when you come outside, you'll be seeing the world the way it truly is.
Really?
I promise. Now, are we friends again?
clever, Monkey. Really clever. It's a pity you're so narrow-minded with your cleverness.
I don't see what's narrow about having an opinion.
There's a dirtier word for what you have. Arrogance. Did Lou ever tell you about your mother? Oh, she didn't, did she?
I feel sorry for you, Mignon. You obviously don't know a mother when you see one.
Sweetheart, where have you all been? Piglet's in a funny sort of temper. She's dismantling the gauntlet.
Monkey, Clara wanted to talk to you about that ladder. Perhaps you should go and find her. Do you mind?
Yes. No, of course not. If she wants me to, I should.
I've decided not to call you Puppet, you know.
Yeah, I'll survive somehow. I saw the crates, you know. The ones in the flooded room, the moat from Christian Aid. We're going to open them and use them all up.
Well, of course you are.
So, you don't teach them about anything you don't like the idea of. You don't teach them about sex.
It's off the map.
Whatever that might
It's
be.
not for them, it's dirty.
Oh, well, that's funny. Because I was under the impression it was just about the loveliest experience a human being could have.
Piglet sliced her finger on a tripwire winch. We looked at it. Is it true? The loveliest experience a human being can have?
You're too young to say things like that. You know, Mignon, sometimes it sounds to me as if you're quoting.
How can you teach the history of the world to little girls who've never even had their first kiss? How can you understand anything of anything without that?
The point of it is, why bring them to a place that doesn't want them? Isn't it better to be sent away somewhere safe than to be sent out into a world without a heart?
It's funny, that argument. It's the same one my boyfriend used to use for abortion.
Don't.
Oh, you remember
Don't
that
talk
word,
like-
don't you?
I was just making a point. Look at them. Look at what they've become. It's proof.
Piglet says there's no such thing as proof.
Prove it. There's still heart left enough in me to break, Poppet.
I've enjoyed this talk, Blue. It's made everything very clear to me. You are completely and utterly mad. I'm glad I finally met you.
Say again.
Every time. The trick is to make them think that you might, but then you never do. Well, some people do, but they shouldn't. They have what you call issues.
I remember something. A kiss. A kiss by a volleyball court.
Oh. You do much more than kiss these days, Clara.
Miss King.
Here. It gets easier to roll them. They're a bit like boyfriends. Less fumbling the second time around.
And people really kill themselves. I mean, they really for love throw themselves under trains and things.
Yes, but mostly they just become incredibly annoying. Which is when I like to suggest the train option. I had this boyfriend once and...
A lover. In the history of the world, we call them lovers.
And this boyfriend
friend wrote me 25 poems for my 25th birthday.
Really? What a pansy! No wonder the women took the reins when the winds came.
You still believe her, don't you?
Why shouldn't I? If everything you say is true, why are you still keeping us here?
Oh, I'm not keeping anyone anyway. You lost the last key.
Rooster took it with her when she left.
Well, haven't you taken it with her if we're still locked in?
I'll find it. You can't trust Blue, Monkey. She's an old drunk.
Excuse me, Miss Mignon, but remind me exactly what a joke is again.
It's someone who hides from life, Piglet. It's someone who cares more for herself than others.
That's unkind.
Unkindness is necessary sometimes. Ask Blue. Piglet found something yesterday that could be seen as unkind, but I'm sure Blue meant well by it. What are your names again?
You know our names.
Your names, which are?
Piglet and Monkey.
And the one that ran away? Rooster. And why are you called Piglet, Monkey, and Rooster?
Blue wanted to call them after the animals they'd never get to see.
Did she? Or did she just stumble drunk as a skunk one day over this? It's lucky she ran out of names before she got to rat.
It doesn't mean anything.
It means everything. That everything she's brought you up to believe has been a fabrication, a fable. She brought you up believing that the world was dead.
It is. Why are you doing this?
Apology, not argument.
I am sorry about the horoscope. It made sense at the time. I thought there might be more of you, and I wanted you all to belong. Someday you'll understand.
Where did it come from? The horoscope. Where'd you find it? Tell them, or I will.
I found it, Blue, and it's mine now. So you better stop being a child and tell us where it came from.
I'd like to know.
Peter.
It came from an old pub, the Bluebeard. There was a Chinese restaurant in the back. It's not far from here on the island. It had a battered old sign.
No. I remember it. The sign. Terrible man with a mossy beard and white eyes.
That's the place.
Well, I can't quite. What was it? Not a. It was a pub, wasn't it? But there were women there.
Yes. There were women there.
It wasn't a part of the pub, but everybody knew it was there, so they just called it the Bluebeard. The pub wasn't popular, but the place above was very popular. I was very young when I first went there.
What was the place above?
The place where I volunteered and where Piglet's mother worked, and monkeys and roosters, and where your father would come, Clara. There were very beautiful girls there at the Bluebeard.
He went there for the food, for his work.
No, I know what Clara's father went there for. You old tart. You filthy slow.
No, it wasn't me. I wasn't one of... I was trying to help him. You know that's not how it was, Mignon.
How was it?
How it is that you're mine. I'm responsible for you. There's no way around it. You're all three of you my babies. I tried to help your mothers. I did wrong, all right. They didn't choose you, I did, but when they found out they were with you, they carried on. Working. And the men. The men started paying more for the women who were pregnant. I couldn't bear that. How
heads for me right then. You were mine. When you came, when you finally arrived, you were mine.
And there were only 3 babies. 3 babies in a house full of tarts. It's disgusting.
It's not disgusting. What could be disgusting about a baby?
What about me? Did you kidnap me? Take me away with these. Like I was some kind of souvenir. Babies, I think I can understand. But a little. You said my father left me.
He did leave you, Clara. Every time he came to the Bluebeard, he left you with the girls who weren't working. Or with me when I was there. Your father didn't care for you, Clara. What kind of a man takes his daughter to a brothel? He took you where women were slaves. I didn't want you to become one.
You didn't want us to be slaves. You can't teach someone to love with a map, Blue. You old idiot bitch. He was my father! Mine!
Is there a free slot in your herstories for this little event, Blue?
Don't call me that. They only call me that because of the pills, and there aren't any more pills.
There aren't any more anything.
Wait.
There are.
Rooster! You came back. We thought you were lost. You fell through the window. How did you get up there, Rooster?
I saw them. I saw them, Miss King. I saw them all.
Rooster, you've had a fall. Try not
Mignon was right.
Rooster, how did you...
I saw them.
Rooster, you're so cold.
The animals. All those animals. Great, big hippopotamuses with numbers on their foreheads and silver crocodiles wedged in dry canals. They were longer than you'd ever think. They must have run fast. And tigers, red and white and yellow and green and purple, all different colours these tigers were. And a big tunnel. A worm must have made that, a worm so big it could eat you. And the light. The light for seeing. Light's not for seeing. There were pterodactyls too. Blue said they were all gone, but I saw one, sleeping in the streets or crumpled up to keep warm, bigger than the biggest thing. And a caterpillar. I saw a caterpillar stretched across the river. I crept across its back. I crept across it. It didn't wake up. I understand now, Miss King. I understand. Mignon was telling the truth. How could there be no life left in a city full of animals? I knew there was more than us. It was a riddle and I solved it. I solved it. I couldn't hear anything though. I'm sorry I didn't get to hear the concerts. The thunderclaps. Tell Monkey they were music notes. My riddle. The answer to my riddle was music notes. She'll know. But Mignon was right, don't you see? I don't see. Don't, Rooster! Don't touch them, Miss King. I saw it. I solved it. That's all that matters now.
About the saxophone
How good of you.
because of the switchbacklers. The fish, they never ran out. They kept on coming back to us to eat. They were having sex together all the time.
You weren't to know. None of us were ever taught how that worked.
But now we know.
Now we know. All this work. I've been very lucky never to have to work. I'm exhausted. I hate it.
I like it.
No, you don't.
Working makes me happy.
Working makes Mignon happy.
Making Mignon happy makes me happy.
I always knew you were foolish. Now, you're a fool.
Why don't you do the tomfool anymore?
Doing the tomfool doesn't make Mignon happy.
I miss it. That is annoying Rooster. I miss that.
Mignon says, the tomfool is nastiness for the sake of nastiness.
But why were we doing it all these years if it was nasty?
To keep from killing one another, I think.
I don't want to kill you, okay? Not yet.
It's not good. I mean, we really should be using our new names.
Boring. So Miss King, Clara, she doesn't really like you anymore, does she?
No.
She'll have a boyfriend soon. I can't wait till I get outside. I'm gonna get 12 boyfriends.
You're not allowed 12.
And I'm gonna have sex with them all.
They'll call you names.
Maybe just names. I'll be like Cleopatra. Mignon says the Greeks gave her that name. Lou told me it meant lots of butterflies, but Mignon told me the truth. What Cleopatra really means is she who gapes wide for 10,000 men. Stay with me. For the first few days I'm fine. Until I find my column. And then I'll come back here sometime. In case it's a tiny bit frightening out there. I'm a tiny bit frightened.
I'll be here.
You're not coming with us.
I'll be here. With Brewster.
Mignon says we'll take her to Moorfieldside Hospital and then she'll be all
Too
better.
late for hospitals.
She doesn't really talk much since she came back, does she? Rooster? Mignon says being blind is a bit like being dead. Boring.
You've been practicing looking at the light.
Every morning for an hour. Mignon says I want to do it every morning. I won't sit up like Rooster. I'm going to start doing it for 2 hours at night time as well.
You are excited, aren't you?
Yes. I'm going to go say goodbye to the moles in the dungeon.
You know what I'm going to say.
Rule number 12. Late edition, don't touch the keys. Not yet. I think you're going to be very happy outside. I think you were happier when you didn't know how unhappy you were.
That's what scientists would call a theory monkey. I'm sick of theory. We've been fed on theory a long time. The very thing. Soon, we'll be eating the real world. I'm not going out there because of her, you know.
Why then? If not that. Food. All these years of pretending. I can't wait. It won't taste as good.
I've lost Blue. There was something for her in telling that story about the brothel. The weight is gone.
Weights aren't always bad things. Just depends who. I'll find her.
Thank you. You've been so good to us. I can't tell you don't.
Where are we going?
Soon. Oh, soon.
That'll be nice. I'm a bit afraid of the world now, the way it is, the way you say it is. Piglet was right, you know. Not quite. But she was right about there being something. The secret in the cellar. That's what I knew. I knew that something somewhere along the way had become alive, that I tricked myself up somewhere, because there weren't no more anythings. There was very definitely a something.
A secret in the cellar.
A secret in the cellar. I gave it to Piglet. She collects secrets. And do you know what? She gave me a secret in exchange. You learned it all by heart, didn't you? What? You learned it all by heart. Piglet lifted it from you, tried to make sense of the words, but no books in here. She left it up by the bows, bless her tumbling little brains.